Hello students, welcome to this platform of online learning. I am Raj sir and welcome to my channel Fun with Accounts. Today in the very first video, we will study about some basic concepts regarding company accounts, accounting for share capital. Now here we use the word share capital. What is a share capital? Well, before coming straight to this topic, let's just talk about some different forms of business organizations. As we have already studied about sole proprietorship and partnership firms in class 11th. Here we will only compare these two on the basis of capital. In a sole proprietorship, the capital is invested by the owner himself. On the other hand, in partnership firms, two or more partners come together and contribute their share of capital. In a company also, capital is invested by a single owner. But when it comes to expand the company, it becomes difficult to invest such a huge amount of capital. Now, to tackle this problem, a company may issue its shares to the public. Now, what happens when a company issued its shares to the public? This money brought in by the public is added to the company's capital, and this amount is known as share capital. Now, here comes the question. How does the public know about these shares, or how do they buy these shares? Well, the answer is very simple. A company can advertise about their shares by publishing brochures or prospectus. In this prospectus, full information about the issue is provided to the public. Now let's discuss some points on company. A company is a separate legal entity with a specified objective. Or we can also say that it is a legal person which carries out all the activities like an individual, such as buying and selling of properties, coming into contracts, and many more. Now, under the Companies Act 2013, companies may be classified as follows. The very first one is unlimited company, in which the liability of its members is unlimited, which means when a company suffers loss and the valuation of its property is not sufficient to settling of the claims, then the personal property of its members will also be taken into consideration for settling of the claims. The second one is company limited by guarantee. In this, the liability of its members is limited to the extent of the guarantee given by them, and this liability will only arise on the occasion of winding up of the company. The third one is company limited by shares. In this, the liability of the members is just limited to the extent of the value of shares held by them. For example, if a shareholder has shares of the value of rupees 10,000, then the liability of that particular shareholder will also be till 10,000. We have earlier talked about how shares are issued. Let's now discuss what are shares. The company divides its total capital into small units. Each unit has its own value. These small units are known as shares. Let's better understand this with the help of an example. Suppose a company has a total capital of rupees 20 lakhs divided into 2 lakhs unit of rupees 10 each. This each unit value of rupees 10 will be called as shares. Now under the section 43 of the Companies Act, a company can issue two types of shares, that are equity shares and preference shares. One of the major difference between these two shares is that On equity shares, dividend is only dependent upon the profits, which means if there is no profit in a year, then the equity shareholders will not receive any dividend. While on the other hand, preference shareholders receive dividend on a fixed rate. That is why most of the companies issue equity shares because of less burden of dividend payment. Now when we will move further in the chapter, in some of the questions we have to prepare the balance sheet of a company. Now while making company's balance sheet, you will see some new terms which are categorized under the types of share capital. Let's have a look on these. The first one is authorized share capital, which is the maximum capital for which a company can issue its shares during its lifetime. This amount is also mentioned in the company's memorandum of association. Let's understand this with the help of an example. Let's say if in a MOA of a company, its authorized capital is mentioned rupees 50 lakhs, then the company can only raise its capital till 50 lakhs. The second part is issued capital. Now this is that part of authorized capital which is actually offered to the public for subscription. Let's take the amount from previous example. A company issued shares of rupees 40 lakhs from authorized capital to the public. This amount of 40 lakhs will be termed as issued capital, and the difference between authorized and issued capital is known as unissued capital. Now the last one is subscribed capital, which is that part of issued capital actually subscribed by the public. For example, a company issued 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each, but the public applied only for 8,000 shares. Then according to this, our subscribed capital will be rupees 80,000. Subscribed capital is also categorized into two parts. The first one is subscribed and fully paid up, which refers to the entire amount that the company has called up, and that amount has been paid by the shareholders. The second one is subscribed but not fully paid up. Now under this, some shareholders are there who sometimes are not able to pay their amounts on the number of shares held by them. We will further discuss these topics where we will solve our practical questions in the upcoming videos. So this was our first module where we discussed about the basics and theoretical part of the chapter. Further, we will continue in the next module. Till then, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you everyone and take care.